Hey guys, it's Vinny and Phil for Mets 55 again. Number two,
Podcast two.
number two, the deuce. And you know what, everybody? Just relax. Just relax.
I'm not.
They never, no, I know. They never beat Milwaukee. For some reason, they can't do it. Just relax. We'll get there. I'm not happy either. You can't lose 10-0 and 9-0. Like everything's okay. As sure as it can. There's a lot that we could talk about that's very, very bad and unsettling. But you know what? They're 3-4. They're coming home. Relax, relax, relax. They put up 6 today. They put up some runs. Pete's waking up. Lindor's waking up. Let's see what happens. What do you think, Van? Is the sky falling, or are we going to be all right?
The sky's not falling, but this is the reality for Mets fans. And I have my buddy Steve out there in Arizona, such a diehard Mets fan, younger than we are. But he's a Mets historian. Actually, he knows every single player. Me being an older guy than him, I could tell him some stories about a game here or there because he's not going to know every second of every game, but he's brilliant when it comes to the Mets. And he watches 162 games and every playoff games. He watches everything, and he wasn't happy yesterday. So I called him to give him my thoughts. And my thought is this: Mets fans. And then I found out that who's a Mad Dog. He has some hot something show, whatever, and he had said it the day before. So I'm not thinking I'm coming up with a brilliant thing, but Mets fans, this team clearly has a target on its back and would expect the whole year that you're going to get everybody's A++ game. That's the reality. You can play a team after 100 games in, you can play a team that's 30 and 70. When they play the Mets, they are going to be bringing an A++ game. It's what's going to be happening. They're the highest paid team. It's a number that's insane. People aren't players and owners because the lesser teams with the lesser payrolls make some good money because of Cohen. But the bottom line is people are going to be coming after him as hard as they can. Okay. And we had a sample. And what I said is this whole season's going to be like last year's September. Last September, everything was set up for us. A lot of some bad teams that we beat soundly during the year. So September comes around, they got no pressure. They got nothing happening. They're relaxed. They want to do everything they can to ruin it for the Mets. And then they pretty much did. That 2 games in a row against Nationals, we lose 7-1, 7-1. I was at one of those games. It was terrible. So I'm saying is you are going to face the whole season is going to be like that September. It's a target. You get into A+ games. That's the reality of it. I'm not saying we're not going to do well. I'm not saying they're not going to win the World Series. But the reality is everybody's coming. And one thing I want to tell you, I love Nimmo. I'm a big Nimmo fan. But let's talk about the 86 Mets, right? They were a polarizing team, right? Were they? Yes. They didn't say they were going to be a polarizing team. They didn't know what type of team they were going to be. What happened with the 86 Mets? They became what they became. They became a polarizing team. So I don't want to hear Nimmo saying, the Mets are going to be, we'll be that polar. No. That's something that has to be created. That's something that develops. So,
sounds like Woody Johnson again. It's like, just do it. Shut up. It's like.
Okay, those guys on Jets, what is it, Jets 55, those guys, the podcast 11.
Perfect.
People didn't watch that. Those guys are brilliant.
They're on it, man.
They're on.
But they're an alternate universe kind of guys than we are, But
so they can become a great, interesting, polarizing team. But don't tell me, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. Like I said, 86, that became what it was because as the season developed, they became that team.
What I think Nimmo means is he wants this. He said something really interesting the other day, how he's going to be here 8 years, which will be much longer than even Keith Hernandez. And Keith Hernandez is a Hall of Famer. And look at the level that he achieved. He wants to be that kind of guy. He wants to be a Met Hall of Famer. So he's amped up all in for the Mets. He's got enthusiasm.
Fine.
He's young. And you're right. He should be careful. But the takeaway is, look, the one two, three shining pieces of the beginning so far. Senga pitched beautifully, stuck. The first inning, he struggled a little bit, but then Peterson struggled today, gave up the 4, but the last game he gave up 1, but they got him off the hook, so it was a 4-4 game. They go up 6-4, and then the bullpen. That's bad. You're gonna have issues with that bullpen, and it's going to be something that is gonna kill us all year. This one is 0-1 for the bullpen today. And Ottavino gives up a bomb. What the heck is that? And Buck brought Robinson in the 8th. Why? Save him for the 9th if he's your closer. And
I
that's
guess he's taking a tie game,
But-
so
this is what's going to happen this year. Buck Showalter is going to be second guessed like crazy because he doesn't have Diaz there anymore to make his life easy. So he's got to be creative. He's got to learn and see what he's got. But Ottavino blew it today, big time. You can't give up a bomb. Ridiculous. And, first batter, last of the 9th. What the heck, Give yourself a chance. And they battled back. They were down, they were up 1-0, then down 4-1. They tied it. Pete, then Lindor. Boom, boom, did it. They went up 6-4. Should have been enough.
that's
Could have shut it
that had
down.
to be enough. That had to be enough.
Yeah. But
Um,
these are the
That-
things though that early on, I take away this. They were able to score 6, which was good. And Milwaukee's a good team, but they're coming home. They're playing the Marlins again, and there's a lot of pressure now because they just took 3 out of 4. You can't start losing to them now at home. You got to win, have to win. But let's face it, Scherzer, so far, he finished last year on a big down, and he started this year on a big down. Is he done? You got to start thinking that, because I don't care. We don't owe him anything. I don't care who's Max Scherzer to me, But think
Listen,
about it. That
knows a lot
last
of
game
money,
that he
yeah.
started, he was bad. And then the
listen.
playoff game, he was horrendous. And then
Listen,
the first game this year gave up the home run, 3 runs. And then he gives up 3 home runs yesterday in a row. What the hell was that?
bro. Yeah, and the thing is too, the bottom line is old for baseball and baseball life and baseball age. Old is old, man. I mean, look at Verlander. It's like what happened? I mean, it's like they're old in
Did we
baseball.
find out today was supposed to be, I didn't look yet. They're supposed to get the answer for his surgery, not surgery, for his problem, But the other guy, Beatty, his thumb was okay, So, but
Doug said it was
Verlander,
okay.
yeah. But McGill did okay, it's like these guys are, let's see, latest on Verlander.
We're coming to you live.
That's a couple hours ago. Let me see. Come on.
Get that internet speed going. Welcome to Mets 55.
Fortunately, imaging revealed diminished inflammation, according to the club. He remains without a firm timetable for a return, but is going to continue a throwing program. It's a solid update, all things considered. While there's still some issue with Verlander's shoulder and no specific return date, that imaging didn't turn up any serious structural issues, is a positive. The Mets are already going to be without Jose Quintana for a few months, and that pushed David Peterson into the starting staff, and Verlander's injury led to McGill claiming a back-end job. Lucchesi and Budo are at AAA Syracuse as the presumed next options if anything happens with these guys. So it's going to be a by-committee thing, even with Scherzer and Verlander, which is tough. Quintana was rough losing him, but he'll be back mid-year. But are they going to be done by then? I don't know, man. But the bullpen, bad job today. You can't
Bad
do
job.
that. So,
And like I said, right now Milwaukee's good team. I really don't see them winning any kind of World Series this year. But again,
but they're a good playoff kind of team, like the Cardinals are. They're good like that, And same deal, same. But
and I can tell you, man, watching some of that Miami Mets, they're all sitting there, Cohen and everything, the Queens South. I'm like, come on, man, just I don't know, it's
too
fine.
much.
I guess.
Too bravado. Just do it
I-
first, like you said. Go out and show us, man.
See what Steve Cohen is learning, and these guys never figure it out, never realize it. Steve Cohen, what is it right now, 17 billion, whatever he's worth. He has people he works for him, but in that type of business, his hands are involved, his mind's involved. He's involved 24/7 with how that business functions and what things are done and how things are accomplished. So that he leads these people and they do the work, but it all stems through him. Okay, it's all him. When you own a team, after you sign all the contracts and you offer all that money, you're done. There's nothing else you could do. So you can wear Queen South shirt and woohoo and be there
Well,
cheering here, there. Fine. He's a fan. I get it. But he's gonna learn as a businessman, you can do 300 million in salaries, 400 million, $1 billion, whatever it is in salaries. When that first pitch is thrown, you're done. There's
John
nothing
Eflin, though.
else. You
John Billy
can't
Eflin now.
you can't do anything. Whereas when it comes to his company, good day, bad day, he's involved. He's active. When the games start, you are not active. Your job is done. You got the
Well,
contracts. You sign a dotted line for these guys. You put them on the field. As an owner, you have no control after that, man. You're done. So now that's the reality that these rich folks don't never realize a lot of times when they buy a team. Steve, love you, man. Love that you put in the effort. You're paying the money. Payroll will probably go down when you get a better farm system. I get it. Better players, young players. I get it. But right now, you have to realize, dude, paid all that money. You're done now. There's nothing you can do.
well,
And
the problem is you're
That's it.
so dead. You're so right. And
That-
he wants so bad to bring to us a winner.
Right? Yeah.
He's
No.
another guy. He's a fan.
Absolutely.
But the problem is, like you said, this isn't his business, but he's learning. He knows it and he understands accountability, though. And
Yeah.
he not only dished out big money, these two starters, Verlander and Scherzer, are considered two of the top 5 in the game. So it's not like he threw money at a gamble. The gamble
Oh.
is what's failing us is the health. Peterson, I'm wrong. He gave up 5 runs on 5 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts in
Yeah.
4 innings. Terrible. That's no good. You need this guy Quintana, And
before
Drew
that-
Smith gave up a run, and then Ottavino blew it at the end. So it wasn't really the bullpen. I take that back. This guy Curtis pitched 2 innings, did well, and Robinson pitched an inning and did well. It's just that Peterson,
And the thing is with Peterson, that last game, we gave up the run. He gave up 10 hits, and there were some spectacular fielding plays. He was saved that game. That should have been another 3, 4, 5 run
Yeah.
game for him.
McGill did better. But look, man,
He's not doing it. He's
It's-
not doing it.
you're right about the fact that they have a target on their back. But you know what? So what? That's okay. You gotta do it.
No,
You gotta win.
I'm not saying it. Mets fans, listen, I'm a Mets fan. I love doing this podcast with my buddy here. And, over 55 years rooting for the Mets, seeing so many things, getting a couple of World Series championships, at least that, and getting to a few other World Series. But I want them to do well. I'm just saying the reality is that now, to your point, yeah, they're talking on your back. They should be like, screw it. They should be coming out, and really, going hard, playing hard, hitting it hard, going after it, and stuff like that. What's this?
Whose ring is that?
This is my Met Fantasy Camp Championship ring.
Look at that. Huh?
20.
How's that, everyone? You want your autographs? There you go.
First
That's a
time.
big deal. That's a good thing. Vinny played catcher. Yeah. Vinny's a left-hander, but he throws right-handed.
Yeah, I don't.
He caught.
messed
He's a
up.
catcher. Ridiculous. That was
The
great.
baseball card was my best hit, but it was a long fly out to left field. It was an out, but it was my longest shot. But got a few hits here or there, but it was a lot of fun.
Great. That must have been fun. That's great. I'm glad you did that with Steve. I know that must have been fun.
With Steve from Arizona.
Yeah.
My buddy out there. But
Listen,
the Met historian.
It's too early to start freaking out,
Ah,
but it's not
yeah.
too early to be concerned. We're all concerned already. Have to be.
Very good. Yeah, we
And,
are.
you know, it's not enough. You know, it's like,
Sure.
what are we gonna do? We gotta get a look. Verlander, I get the feeling he's gonna be out a couple of months. I just do.
Really?
Well, it's 15-day disabled list. All right, that's already a couple weeks. Today they said doesn't look like this. He'll continue throwing, but there's no timetable. They didn't say he's on target, so he's not going to be back till like I'm telling you till June.
But Phil, did you say disabled list?
Oh, I'm sorry, the IL, right? Yeah, yeah,
He's on the
disabled. I'm gonna yeah. I'm so inappropriate, right? Listen, man.
we've only been saying DL for 55 years. Mets 55, it's a little tough.
No, it's but Scherzer's alarming to me. Verlander hasn't thrown a pitch with the Mets yet. I don't know, but Scherzer, he's looking like the way he looked at the end of last year after a long year. He doesn't look that good, and I don't care. He's like a tough guy. I don't give a shit, how tough he is and all that. Let's go. You got to get in there and go after these guys now, And if they're sitting on a fastball and they smoke you 3 times, there's something wrong there. I don't
You
know.
know,
Sometimes
even talking
he's
about
done.
it with my guy Steve, and he was the first to say, you know how hard it is to hit 3 home runs in a row. You know how rare that is. And
To give up 3 in a row is hard
three
too.
home runs in a row against who's supposed to be one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Right.
Was the attitude and a little angst about him. Fine, all good. You know what? But if you're going to be throwing all that stuff around, you better be able to, walk the walk, buddy. And right now, he looks like he like worn out, like he did at the end of last year, just worn out and not ready.
And
So
Steve
we'll
was
see.
exactly right. He's right. It's really hard to hit 3 in a row, but think about how hard it is to give up 3 in a row. Think about it. You got to work hard to be not on it because you could walk a guy, you could hit a guy, you could get lucky and a guy will ground one out, but you're going after the guy. You're trying to punch him out. And 3 times in a row, they hit your best pitch over the wall. That's hard from the pitcher's point of view to be able to do. That is about as bad as it gets.
In your perspective, you really accomplished something there.
Exactly. He did a great job at failing. And it's just that's the problem when they're not your own guys. When DeGrom was here, you had this little bit of, well, okay, he's been here so long, but this guy, he's here 1 year. What do you mean? Let's go. You're not doing the job, and I understand if he's done. That's okay. But don't tell me he's what he was apparently supposed to be, because then you got a problem. Then your best pitcher is Senga, and
Well, I said it while we were talking, and this, I think, I'm making a really patting myself on the back. I'm making a really good point. Think about this. I said it to you, but I'm going to say it to our many fans. This free agency stuff pretty much started around 75. It's been around roughly
the
40.
Yankees in the 70s, yeah, Catfish Hunt,
48.
those guys, yeah, for the big time. Yeah.
And in those 40 years, let's look at the Yankees. They've had the biggest payroll, every year. One of the biggest payrolls, if not the biggest, top 5 payroll, top 3, whatever. So for 48 years, they doled out the most money. And in 48 years, they've got 7 championships. In that perspective, that's not a lot. So think about it, the money, yeah, and actually what Cohen is doing is not bad. I'm just saying he spent the money to make them competitive, to make them a chance at the World Series, and to give them some time to develop the farm. So I'm fine with it. I'm just saying that. But look at 48 years of being one of the top paying teams, and you win it 7 times. Yeah, 7's a lot. As Mets fans, since I've been rooting for them, Yankees have won 7, Mets have won 2. So there's a gap. Okay, forget the other because I wasn't born. I drive my Yankee fan.
We won 98 championships. Good for you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm saying
What are
like
you,
just because
130?
Daddy gave you the Yankee bib that the other 20 or 22, whatever the heck they were. Don't talk
Right.
to me about them. I counted when we start rooting. So they're way ahead, 7-2. But 48 years of paying the biggest money every year, not as insane as what the Mets are paying. I'm not saying that what the Mets are paying now with Cohen, but paying some of the biggest money every year. And they got 7 championships out of 48 years.
Well,
You know, I'm
it's a good
sure.
point. It is a great point. And, it's like the Patriots, it's what they've done in a short period, that massive success. You just have to say, at least you got a guy that's gonna be giving it all he's got. But is it enough right now? I don't know. I don't know, buddy. It's a little bit too soon to push any panic buttons. But already Verlander's hurt. Is he gonna be in there? And what's he gonna be like? And Scherzer's not a number one. He's like a number 3 right now. He's a number 3 pitcher.
Just think,
Is he gonna reach? Got to be like 9 by now.
a month ago, McGill and Peterson was 6 and 7 in the starting rotation. Started 6 and 7, and rainouts and double headers and all this crap. Or you need rest, so they were going to see enough of their starts. And now they wind up being now they're 3 and 4. And I like McGill, I like Peterson, but Peterson, man, he's not getting it done. Even that first game, he is not getting it done. And Scherzer, you're not. Listen, even if you gave up 2 runs, they were going to lose. They just weren't in any kind of groove. They were sleepwalking. They weren't there, especially the first 2 games. They weren't really, they're physically, yeah, but mentally, they weren't there. So, listen, if he's going to have a really big game, this was a good time to have it. This was actually a good
You know what
time.
his whip is right now, Scherzer? 1.41. That's bad. That's too much. You can't. He's 1-1 with a 6.4, 6.35 ERA. And yeah, he's 1-1, but you can't give up 3 home runs in a row. You can't give up. You're right. He got lucky just like Peterson did on that first game. But Peterson, he lost. He pitched well, but he lost the game. So
Well,
he got it off the
really
hook, but he ended up getting the loss.
Yeah,
He didn't get buried.
He really didn't, but he didn't really pitch that well, man. He had some good defense, but either way, this is where we are.
I'm going to say one more thing
about Met 55 blog podcast. This is our second podcast. This is our second one. Look forward to be talking about more positive things. I know they're probably saying, "Wow, Vin man, what's your deal?"
Mr. Negative here, right? No,
Not
but
negative, but
important.
just the reality is they're gonna get. I said it to start the podcast. They're gonna get everybody's A++ game. So you gotta they gotta answer the bell, man. You're gonna be in with someone who's gonna take your shots at you. You gotta be able
It's
to
going to
fight
be
back.
a real test to see how good Epler is, to see what he can do, pull the trigger on, and how good Buck is to make these adjustments. Okay, because you can't really blame him. I was wrong. Robinson, I forgot, pitched the 8th and did great, but Ottavino failed. So he was the problem today, and Peterson.
You know what?
But you know what? At some point, if this continues and they become 9-10 games under 500, somebody's head's going to roll. I don't know if it's the pitching coach, Hefner, or if it's Buck at some point. Who knows? It's too soon to say that, but this guy invested a lot in not only just payroll, but in quality people. And if they didn't do their due diligence, they were quick to not bring Correa in, right? The third baseman. But, what do we got? We got 2 guys that are 86 million between the 2 of them each year, and they're not doing anything. I mean, it's about results, man.
Well,
hey, like I said,
we're gonna see.
Relax. They're only 3 and 4. It's all right, but I'm with you. It's we weren't going to do this tonight, but I think we figured it's good to at least, they're coming home tomorrow, get on a roll, start hitting, feel the home. McNeil's doing nothing this year too. 0. He's great in the field, but he's not hitting, and I don't know,
I'm saying, with everything, with the target, A+, everything I'm saying, Mad Dog, said it yesterday. I think they're going to have a really good season. I know. Yeah, it's been great. I think they're gonna fight back. I
Just remember
think,
one thing.
and
Phillies
then
have
when
the
you
World
fight
Series.
back,
The
when you
Phillies have
fight
the World
back,
Series, and so were the Braves are supposed to be good. That's a tough ass division. So everybody's going to be gunning for those guys, but nobody spends as much, like you said,
but,
as Steve. So people
right,
want to knock you down. It's
right.
true. Yes,
But if you
they
fight
want.
back, if you fight back and give it back to people, then you become that polarizing team. What the '86 Mets did as the year went on, people wanted to beat them so bad, but they were so good and so aggressive and so tough about it. It got everybody off their game.
Ray
So,
Knight with
you
Eric
know,
Davis. He punches him in the mouth.
boom,
You
Ray
know.
Knight, boom.
Yeah.
Uh, those that that type of team with the rules now and everything, it's probably going to be hard to see a team like that. But Mets, fight back, man. Fight. Give it a
Yeah.
go. Give every
They'll be
game.
fine.
Give it your all, man. Come on, easy for me to say.
They'll
Obviously,
figure it out. The
pressure.
best part is you're seeing the young guys, the young pitchers now, where they were going to have more time to not be in the spotlight. Now they're in the spotlight. So as long as they're healthy, that's the whole thing. Don't get hurt. None of this. Not if everybody stays healthy, other
Well,
than
it's
these
not
other
happening
guys. I mean, Verlander and
already.
Scherzer, they're not going to be there long
Already,
term anyway. A couple
it's
of
not
years.
happening.
So
But well, we shall see. But we're looking
let's
forward
go, Mets.
to
Time to go on the
LF.
IL, right? No,
What is it? LFGM from the Big
LFGM.
Bear.
Yeah. No, I'm good. It'll be all right. I think it'll be nice for them to come home, but
I think it'll
you
be
got to get it
okay.
rolling. It's time.
Well, again, to the
Number two,
watching Mets 55. I hope you enjoyed our
number
second
two.
podcast. And again, it's all about the passion of being Mets fans. You get a little bit down, a little bit, but not being down, just reality of what's going to happen. And let's see them do what they got to do, man.
It's
Let's see them
nothing
do
that
what
we
they
haven't
got to
seen
do.
before. There's nothing to cry about. It's all right, but you know, gotta figure out that um you can't walk five guys as a starter in 4 innings. You can't do that.
I don't
No
know
way.
where that came from. That's what McGill was doing, and then McGill came into the start of the game, did well, and I don't know what that's what shot
It
out
sounds
to
like they're
me.
a year away from being dominant if they're gonna be dominant.
Yeah.
But you got to use them now. What are
Well,
you gonna do? You need the
you
help.
know, I don't know if it's the pressure, but Peterson, you're getting a chance. You got your window, man, to show your stuff. Come on.
Yeah, this Quintana guy, he was good. It's a shame.
Well, we'll
Listen,
see.
we'll be okay. Relax.
Seven games in. Let the fun begin.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's a scary thing though if they can't beat a team that's halfway good because then they're going to get their butts whipped, and that's going to be
Oh,
really scary. That's a
okay.
72 and 90 team. Then no good. So
Well,
you got to
listen,
figure it
they,
out.
they won. They won 101 games, and they lost obviously 61. But some of those 61 games were horrible. Some of them were long losing streaks. So much can happen in a season.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
You know what? Listen, a better inning from a relief pitcher. They're 4-3, but 3-4. I think it's going to be. It's one thing I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting season. Very
Scherzer's
interesting.
got to find out what's wrong, and Verlander's got to be okay. And then once you have those two pieces fixed and figured out, even if they go to a skid now and it's messed up, as long as that gets solidified and they're back on track with Senga in there you go. You got those three guys. You're all right if they're cooking, if they're in shape. But you can't have Scherzer giving up 4 runs. He's got a 6.35 ERA now. You can't. That's not happening. It's not going to work. So, but it's 2 games. How many innings has he pitched? It's not a big deal.
The
It's
kids
like
are
he had a
all
bad
right.
game.
Kids are all right, as the Who said. The kids are all right. We're
That's
gonna
right.
be
We'll be there.
gonna be good.
Rock and roll, baby.
All right,
All right,
bro.
well, that's 2 in the books. So put it in the
Put it in the
books.
book. Put it in the book. Very good.
Yeah. All right, buddy. We'll talk again.